If you like Ben 10, hit the like button. One user asked if Ben could have access to Kevin's mutant hybrid since their DNA would be significantly different from their race counterparts, and Duncan replied saying that would only happen if that was the nature of mutation, and then asked how he doesn't know it isn't Kevin's DNA creating the mutation. This could be implying that Kevin's DNA created the mutations. A user also asked Duncan if the Antitrix could scan DNA, but Duncan replied saying not in the same way the Omnitrix does. Another user asked if there was a chance that some of Kevin's Antitrix aliens' second halves were aliens we've seen in the classic continuity, and Duncan replied saying they were, except for Bashmouth. One user on Twitter asked Ben 10 co-creator Duncan Rollo if Gravitac would appear in the reboot, and if Ben could transform into Bashmouth's species in Season 5. Duncan said Gravitac would not appear in the reboot, and also said Bashmouth was a special case that Kevin will have to deal with. Another user asked Duncan if the Antitrix aliens were fused with the same DNA, or if each alien has DNA mixed with it, and Duncan replied saying Kevin's DNA is the common denominator. The rest of the combos are separate aliens. I remember that Duncan once said that there was a canon explanation for Kevin's alien voices not changing, and that it had to do with Kevin. I'm really wondering what is so special about Kevin. Maybe Kevin has altered DNA. Who knows? And oh, what do you know? The Flexi Boy returned with some new heat. He flexed on Duncan 20 times at once, asking what level the Antitrix would be. And Duncan said it was nowhere near the Omnitrix level, and that it was far more violent in its conception and execution, and that manipulation of DNA was only half of its operation. Going by the original continuity standards, EarthTech is level 3, and the Omnitrix is level 20, so the Antitrix would probably be somewhere in between those two numbers if we were going by the original continuity standards. Here's another interesting tweet. One Ben 10 fan named Ben 10 Fan asked if Kevin was an Osmosian in the reboots, and Duncan said he wasn't. How interesting. This makes me wonder how Kevin's DNA affected his aliens, as Duncan said in previous tweets. Another user on Twitter asked if Kevin would appear in Season 5, and Duncan confirmed he'd appear, but not in all the movies. I like this. I always thought Season 3 had too much of Kevin, and Season 4 toned it down with the Kevin episodes, and it looks like Season 5 will continue to not overuse Kevin. Another user on Twitter asked questions, one of them being our questions about Kevin's aliens being answered. And Duncan replied saying the crew was working on something that will explain Kevin's aliens and the inner workings of the Antitrix. Speaking of Kevin and the Antitrix, another user asked if Kevin's aliens were mixed with the same hybrid aliens, or if they were different for each species, and Duncan said the DNA was the same as some of Ben's aliens, but the process in which Kevin merges is different. The user then asked if Kevin just merges the mixed alien hybrids with the mutant strain of DNA to create his aliens, and Duncan said this was close, but couldn't give away any more info, since that would ruin some future stories. I guess this is just another thing we have to look forward to for Season 5. Another user on Twitter asked if Jetray would get an Alien Worlds video, and if Skunkmouth would appear more, and Duncan said there would be no Jetray Worlds video, and there is a definite chance we'll see more of Skunkmouth. A well-known Ben 10 fan asked what color scheme Ben's version of Bashmouth would have, and Duncan replied to this fan saying Bashmouth is a unique alien that Ben does not have in his Omnitrix. When this fan asked if he was a hybrid of Wrath and Blitzwolfer, Duncan said he's a hybrid of neither, and is a species we haven't seen yet.